Ganun nga po ito kahirap. Kaya atin laging inuulit at inuulit. Ito pong iskandalong ito. Opo, na sana nga po tayo makakuhan na po tayo pumayag na wala po talaga ditong mapaparusahan. Unfortunately, sa ating pong sistema, baby girl, ngayon pong magpapasko, sure, wala kang makikita magigimas dito ng rekas na bakal, ika na po nila. Mawalang galang lang. As in wala. Yung pong nandilihan sa Senado, opo, na mga nasa kustodiya po ng Blue Ribbon Committee, yun. Hindi po rekas yun. Yan po ay contest na itinataw sa kanila, pero kanila pong kulungan doon na hindi kulungan. Huwag na po tayo pumasa pa sa sistema po ng ating pong hostesya. Eto naman tayo, baby girl. Magandang halimbawa ito, girl. Aba, mukhang ito sa Ligan Bayan, siguro po dahil sa kasama ho sila sa mga sinasabing institusyon na nakapaloob, nakapukit, nakatatak sa ating pong saligang batas na sana nga po dapat nating sandalan. So sabihin po ng accountability na nagpapangong uri. Ito po sa Ligan Bayan ay pinawalang visa yung mga musyon itong dating chairman po ng PAGCOR, si Efrain Enwino, at yung apat pang mga akusado doon sa kanilang kaso po ng katiwalian. Ang sangkot dito halaga, baby girl, ay 50 million pesos. Ano ba pinagmulan nito? Kung inyong maaalala, sa panunungkulan po nitong si Genuino, nung panahon po ni Pangulong Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, nagtatag siya ng kanyang bida party list. Kasama ito sa ating pong ginawa po ng storya, noong mga panahon iyon, sa ating pong programa, dahil nga po sa ginastahon nila ang pera ng PAGCOR para po sa kanilang bida party list na launching dyan sa Luneta. Anyway, fast forward po tayo, may mga question dito. At ginawa itong paggasta sa pera ng PAGCOR para po sa kanilang mga sinasabing pansariling political interest magmula po noong 2005 hanggang 2008. Meron pong mga nagreklamo dito at pati COA naglabas po ng report dito. Hindi tama yan. May ginawa kayong kabulastugan doon sa bidding process na ginawa ninyo sa pambili ninyo ng mga gamit para sa inyong Vida Foundation. Okay. Ngayon mga kapatid, ang ombudsman ay nagsampa ng kaso 2013. So, nung tinanggap nila, 2009, 2010, mga inabot sila ng mga 3 taon na pag-iimbestiga rito, baby girl. Bago na isampa sa Sandigan Bayan. So sa ombudsman, baby girl, umabot ito ng halos 3 taon. Ngayon, dumating ito ng Sandigan Bayan, 2013. Anong taon na ngayon?
2025.
So ito po ay motion pa lamang for reconsideration. Hindi pa ito kasi papalik pa ito ng Supreme Court sigurado eh. Okay. So ito ay halimbawa na naman dito po sa kaso ito tungkol sa flood control scandal na ito. Flood control projects po ng DPWH. So yun lang po ang gusto natin ipaliwanag dito. Na tayo po umaasa na mapaparusahan dito. Oo naman, yan po ating dinadalangin. Pero kailan? Ewan ko lang po kung kaya natin magtiis pa, maghintay pa po. Hindi ka mag-iinit, girl. Mainit ka na ba?
Sobra. Dami ng pangalan na banggit. Wala nang isa maghihimas rehas dyan. Tsaka laki ng halaga, hindi milyon. Bilyon.
Trillion actually. Sabi nga ni Secretary Grace, trillion po ang pinag-uusapan natin ninapon nila dito.
Init na po ang mga Pilipino. So wala kang kukulong bago magpasko? Kahit pinang-wish namin kay Santa?
Ako, sigurado po, karamihan sa mga yan ay baka nagpa-plano na saan sila pupunta na sa abroad.
Sa sarap ng buhay.
Diba? Wala silang problema. Hello! Sa dami ho ng mga pinulimbat nilang pera at sila kukuha ng mga mamahalin ng abogado na naman, sigurado ko iyan. Ito lang po, kapansin-pansin. Ako lang para may something's going on. Hindi ba? Unang-una, si Pangulong Marcos Jr. sa balita natin kanina, sa kanyang interview, sabi niya, hindi daw niya ginawa itong pagbubulgar ng skandalong ito for political purposes. Pero ako tingin ko dito, ginawa niyo po niyan, Mr. President, to save your presidency. Kasi kung iba po ang nag-bulgar nito, di ba? Bulagta na po marami. Kung sakasakali po sa magiging matinding galit. Pero sige po, ipakubayan na lang natin ito sa kanya, baby girl, no?
Yun din naman ang pinaniniwalaan ng iba na ang nagsimula naman ng lahat ng ito ay ang Pangulong Marcos Jr.
Oo, kasi magmula sa
Di ba,
zona, etc.
Oo, sa SONA. At ngayon, meron na tayo nito Independent Commission for Infrastructure. Pero ang huli nga ng mga tao, ang panawagan, yung bang karapatan natin for information naman. Kasi nga, natigil na po itong hearing sa Senate, ukol po dito sa flood control projects. Hindi natin alam kung magpalit man na magiging chair, kung magkakaroon pa rin ng pagdinig dyan. Pero ang sinasabi ng ilan, dahil may ginagawa ng pagdinig sa ICI, hayaan na natin sila. Kaya lang, yun nga yung paulit-ulit mo rin sinasabi, hindi natin alam kung ano po ang nangyayari. Paano malalaman ng taong bayan na talagang balanse po yung ginagawa na investigasyon dyan sa ICI ngayon? Na wala pong pressure na nangyayari at lahat ay mapapanagot at lahat ng mga pangalan na malalaki na involved ay maibubulgar.
Meron
Paano
lang
masisiguro?
tayong napapansin na something dito.
Ano bang something yan?
Oo,
Isiwalat mo na yan something na yan.
Ito lang ha. Si Zaldico. Opo. Bakit hindi niyo pa pinauuwi dito? Pinauuwi na pala pero hindi naman obligang umuwi o pauwiin. Pansinin po ninyo, di ba? Kung talagang gusto mong malaman ang katotohanan dito, siya ang starring dito eh. At iniuugnay si Martin Romualdez. So kung nagkaroon ka na ng freeze sa air assets po ni Zaldico, kasi nga daw, meron na ba siyang kaso sa ombudsman? Yung pang-ombudsman na patawag na ng preliminary investigation, parang wala pa eh. Come to think of it, meron pong balita dito. Ito ha. Opo, ICI recommends filing of charges versus Zaldico and DPWH Region 4 be exempt. Inihain ito sa ombudsman daw. Pero ang ombudsman po, wala pa tayong balita kung sila ba'y kumilos na. Pero nag-freeze ka na kaagad ng kanya sinasabing accounts daw, pati yung kanyang air assets. Tama ba?
Yes, kasama yun.
Yung air assets ni Martin Romualdez.
Magandang
hindi po ba? Alam niyo mga kapatid, dito talaga maganda magkakaliwanagan po tayo dito eh. At ano ba estado ng mga kasong ito? Yung nga pong malabo, yun hindi natin wala tayo, bulag na bulag tayo dito eh.
Bulag sa katotohanan.
Hindi po ba? Yung air assets, meron din si Martin Romualdez na. Pero wala pa kayo sinasabi na, di ba, na, you know what I'm saying?
Wala. Kasi nasa
Para
mga...
talagang ang usapan, para magang sandali lang, para may hangganan lang ba na hanggang doon lang sa taong ito? Kasi kapag humantong ito sa iba, baka magkabulagaan na tayo. So ngayon, sige nga, patunayan niyo, Mr. President. Si Zaldico, ang sinasabing isa umano sa mga mastermind dito, bakit ayaw niyo pang kumilos para kansilahin ang passport niya nang yan ang obliga na umuwi dito? O talagang wala kayong bala? Kasi ayaw niyong umuwi si Zaldico. Magpakatotoo po tayo dito, di ba? Kasi pag umuwi siya, baka ilaglag na kayong lahat. Baka
billion when it comes to welfare services. These are all submitted to the board, Mr. Chair, and approved by the board. We also need to be able to roll out the programs. For example, the scholarships coming scholarships for the educational for this year, we have around 4,320, and then another program around 13,000. So close to around 20,000 scholars. No? So, Mr. Chair, every year we propose to the board of OWA how many additional scholars, for example, we will be able to cater that will be charged against the OWA Trust Fund.
Could you kindly submit to the committee a breakdown on specific programs benefiting our overseas Filipino workers of at least the interest income annually since the time that you started, maybe just the past 2 years?
If your total is Today, I'm going to show you exactly what's making your child so dependent on you and the simple changes that will turn this around immediately. Starting with mistake number one, which is so subtle, you're probably doing it multiple times a day without realizing it. And it looks like this. Your toddler is completely absorbed in their play. Maybe they're building blocks or sorting toys, playing with dolls, or taking all the containers out of the kitchen drawer. Whatever they're doing, they're focused and happy and blissfully independent. And then you break that focus by talking to them. And you say something like, wow, that towel is huge, or oh my gosh, we have so many containers. Now, I get it. Your intentions are good. You want to connect with your little one and show them that you're interested in their play, or maybe you even want to encourage more of this independent time by praising them for it. But here's what's actually happening. The moment you start commenting, you pull their attention away from their play and put it squarely on you. And because you're their favourite person in the world, they often drop what they're doing and come over to you. And you just accidentally taught them that your attention is more valuable than their own independent play. And this creates that clingy behaviour you're trying to avoid. So if you want your little one to continue playing independently and maybe even get a few more minutes to finish your coffee, here's what you need to do. When they're happily playing or exploring, don't ask questions, don't comment, just sit back and watch. And wait for those natural breaks in their play when they actually look up at you. That's them checking in, and it's the perfect moment to acknowledge their play or ask them questions about what they're creating. Do this consistently and you'll get longer periods of independent play without that constant need for your attention. Now when your toddler does look up and show you their creation, here's when most parents make mistake number two. Generally, we will immediately praise them by saying something like, good job, you're so smart, or that's amazing. Now this does feel natural and exactly what a supportive parent should do. But here's the thing, these encouraging words are actually creating more of that clingy behaviour that you're trying to avoid. And here's why. When your praise centers around how smart they are, they cannot just feel good about your they need your approval first. And this creates two exhausting problems for you. First, exactly things that and before you go to the child, they start worrying, if I mess up, then my so they start to stick to easy things that they know they can't new stuff because they're too scared to disappoint you. But when you praise the effort and process instead, so for example, you might say, wow, you didn't give up even when that color piece was tricky, or I saw you really concentrating on that drawing, you were so focused. Something different happens. You show them that trying and problem solving is what's truly important, not being perfect or getting your approval. And they start to think, I can do this, instead of I need mum or dad to tell me that this is good. And here's the game changer. When your child trusts in their own abilities, they're going to be much more independent and less clingy because they're not constantly seeking out your approval. Now, if you realise that you've been using some of these phrases I've mentioned, like good job or you're so smart, please don't worry, you're definitely not alone. But I do have a free guide that covers 8 parenting phrases, including these ones, which Don't send the message you intend, and more importantly, exactly what to say instead. And you can grab that free copy by clicking the link in the description below. Now, even if you avoid those first two mistakes perfectly, there's another way that you can accidentally encourage cleaning behaviour, and this one has nothing to do with what you say. It's all about your physical environment, and it can honestly sabotage everything. As you may have noticed, toddlers are naturally curious, and when they see something new or interesting, they absolutely must touch it and explore it. Now, this curiosity is amazing for their development, but it becomes a problem when your home isn't set up for this exploration. If you've got breakable items within reach, important documents on low tables, and unsafe objects everywhere, you're going to find yourself following your toddler around all day saying, "Don't touch that, get away from there," or "No, no, no." Now, not only is this constant supervision approval first, and this creates two exhausting problems for you. First, they start doing things just to get that good job from you, and before you know it, you've got a child constantly running over saying, "Look, is this right?" every few minutes. Second, they start worrying, "What if I mess up and my mum and dad don't think I'm smart anymore?" So as a result, they start to stick to easy things that they know they can't fail at, and this means they're no longer exploring or trying new stuff because they're too scared to disappoint you. But when you praise their effort and process instead, so for example, you might say, "Wow, you didn't give up even when that puzzle piece was tricky," or "I saw you really concentrating on that drawing, you were so focused," something different happens. You show them that trying and problem solving is what's truly important, not being perfect or getting your approval. And they start to think, "I can do this," instead of, "I need mum or dad to tell me that this is good." And here's the game changer. When your child trusts in their own abilities, they're going to be much more independent and less clean because they're not constantly seeking out your approval. Now, if you realise that you've been using some of these phrases I've mentioned, like "good job" or "you're so smart," please don't worry, you're definitely not alone. But I do have a free guide that covers 8 parenting phrases, including these ones, which don't send the message you intend, and more importantly, exactly what to say instead. And you can grab that free copy by clicking the link in the description below. Now, even if you avoid those first two mistakes perfectly, there's another way that you can accidentally encourage cleaning behaviour, and this one has nothing to do with what you say. It's all about your physical environment, and it can honestly sabotage everything. As you may have noticed, toddlers are naturally curious, and when they see something new or interesting, they absolutely must touch it and explore it. Now, this curiosity is amazing for their development, but it becomes a problem when your home isn't set up for this exploration. If you've got breakable items within reach, important documents on low tables, and unsafe objects everywhere, you're going to find yourself going to around all day. Now, the solution to this mistake is creating what I call a yes space. Now, this is a child-proof area where your toddler can safely explore and play without you having to watch them like a hawk. And it could be as simple as the corner of your living room, a gated play area, or even just a toddler-proof bedroom. The key is creating a space where the answer is always yes. They can touch everything, explore freely, and make their own choices about what they play. When you give your little one this freedom to explore safely, they become confident enough to wander off and play independently without needing you right there by their side. And this naturally leads to less clingy behaviour. Now, this next mistake might surprise you because it honestly feels like you're being a good parent. For example, your toddler is struggling to put on their shirt, so you jump in and help. The block towel keeps falling over, so you restack it. They put their shoes on the wrong feet and you immediately fix it, or they're fighting with their sibling and you swoop in to solve it. These responses are natural, and not doing them goes against our instincts as parents. But here's what's actually happening. When you constantly swoop in to fix everything, you're accidentally sending the message that I don't believe that you can handle this and you need me to solve it for you. And what your child learns is when things get hard, don't keep trying, just wait for mum or dad to step in. And this is where that cleanness starts. Without the chance to struggle through these challenges, they don't get the opportunity to practice their problem-solving skills or experience that amazing I did it feeling when they finally get that shirt on or figure out how to make that shower stable. It's these small victories that build confidence and independence. Without them, your toddler can start to believe that they really can't handle things without you, and this naturally encourages them to lean on you for absolutely everything. Now, the fix to this mistake is honestly hard to do, but it works. Just wait for them to look up at you and ask for help before you jump in, and then when you do help, you want to guide them through it rather than taking over completely. So instead of grabbing that t-shirt and putting it on for them, you might say, women's shirts can be tricky, and then you would guide them based on their age and their abilities. So if your toddler is still learning how to get dressed, you would guide them step by step through the task. So you might say, find the hole for your head. Now pull it down, find the hole for your arm. I wonder which hole your head goes through. When you take this approach of being with your toddler as they figure it out, it teaches them that it's okay to find things challenging, but that they should figure things out. And you're there to guide them, not rescue them. And each small victory they have builds their confidence and problem-solving skills, leading to a less clingy, more independent child. Now, just a little heads up, when you stop swooping in immediately and start guiding them instead of doing it for them, they might get a little upset. And sometimes, let's be honest, it'll escalate. Maybe a little one will start screaming, yelling, or throwing themselves on the floor because they can't get that puzzle piece to fit, or their shirt is being a little too tricky. In those moments, your natural instinct is going to be to calm them down as quickly as possible. And you might say things like, I see you're upset, hoping it will help. Now, while this seems like the right thing to do, you might be surprised to hear that acknowledging your child's feelings over and over could actually be making things worse. In this video, you will discover exactly how repeatedly acknowledging expressions can feel really scary to them. And instead of feeling reassured, their survival brain might be picking up on even more dangerous signals. So not only are your words not getting through, but your body language might accidentally be telling their brain to stay in panic mode, which can turn what could have been a 5-minute tantrum into a 30-minute marathon that leaves everyone exhausted. During a tantrum, your child doesn't need you to talk them out of it, they just need to feel safe. Because only when they feel safe will their thinking brain come back online, and only then can they actually hear and understand what you're saying. So how do you do that? You need to show their brain that they're safe through your actions and calm presence. Now, I know this sounds a bit vague, so let me show you exactly how I use this approach with my own child just the other day. My youngest, who's 2.5, and her big sister were playing with the dollhouse when suddenly she started screaming and rolling around on the floor, all because she wanted the cot her sister was using. Now, I could have run up to her and said something like, you're upset because you want the cot, and then try to explain why without all the complaining. The secret to getting your child to listen the first time without you needing to yell isn't about following some fancy discipline technique or finding the perfect consequence. It's about speaking to them in a way that their developing brain actually understands so that they can follow through right away. As a pediatric occupational therapist who's worked with hundreds of families, I've created a simple 5-step method that completely changes how our kids respond. I've seen kids go from ignoring everything to listening the first time, sometimes within just days of trying this approach. And in this video, I'm going to break down all 5 steps and show you exactly how to use them in everyday situations so that by the end, you'll have proven practical tools that will actually work. No more repeating yourself, no more yelling, and no more feeling like you failed as a parent. So let's dive into step 1, the connection catalyst. This step is an absolute game changer in getting kids to listen the first time. And this is because kids become completely immersed in whatever they're doing.